So today let's take a look at creating some custom desktop images for our operating systems. Whichever one you use, it does not matter. It's always good to have some nice pretty pictures or inspirational, whatever you'd like. It's all up to your imagination. So how are we going to do this? So I'm going to use ChatGPT. All right, so how did I do this? I'm glad you asked. Now you can see here that I've already gone through the whole process. I'm just going to quickly run through what I did so you can do the same. That's the important thing, that you can replicate and do this for yourself. And it doesn't take too long. So I'm going to quickly blow through this as fast as I can so I don't bore you to tears, and that you can get cracking on and doing this yourself. It really just comes down to what you're feeling at the time with regards to what kind of images you want to create. So it's up to your imagination, as I'm going to keep saying throughout this. So with ChatGPT, I'm actually registered, but I'm on a free account. So I just want to demonstrate that you can do this on a free ChatGPT account. So it doesn't cost you anything, just a few moments of your time. And so what we need to do, of course, is to give ChatGPT a prompt and some instructions on what it is that we want. So in this case, I didn't write anything too elaborate. And again, it's totally up to you, but the more you tell it, the more information you give it, the more it's going to use to create what you're thinking of. So in this case, I just did something simple. So I just asked ChatGPT to create me 5 mystical forest scenes with fantasy figures for my Windows desktop. Important to say that, so it sort of gets an idea of what size to create them as and what aspect ratio. It does get that right if you do that. So I said, yeah, for my Windows desktop that are inspirational with famous fairy tale quotes. Keep the left side clear for my icons. You don't need to put that in depending on what sort of images you're creating, but I just thought I'd give it a shot because my icons, of course, on my desktop are all down the side here. So I didn't want anything sort of getting in the way of those. I kind of adhered to that instruction quite well. So the first thing it did was come up and create this little image here with a sample of the 5 images it was going to create. So I'd already thought about them and created them internally. It's just showing me concept. So then it's just a matter of going through and just asking it to create each image. So I'm just going, can you create the first image, please? It doesn't have to be very, I don't know what's the word, correct. Just prompt him along, or her. So create your first, can you create the first image? So it came back with that first one, you can see there at the top left. And then it's just a process of going through and just asking for the next image. So we did that, or I did that, and in one case it came up with some alternatives, which I managed to also download. I've actually got more than my 5, but didn't put a quote in that one for some reason. Not too sure. It doesn't matter. You could use it or not, depends on you. So we went on and did the others, and I think I even just for fun just asked it to make a few extra ones, and because it knows the theme that we were going for here, it just kept going. So I got a few extras out of it. Once you've gone through this process, you can then click on any of the images, and what comes up then is like the full view of that image, but it also gives you all the images that you've created inside this conversation or chat or session, depending on what you want to call these. It's all the same thing. So that's just a process of clicking on each one we've got here, and then downloading it, which you do with this little icon, little download icon up the top right here. See the one up there? So click on that and it'll open up your folder on your File Explorer. So just to show you, and this comes back to my topic of what to call things and where to save them. I'm quite big on, it's quite important to know. So in this PC, pictures, I created a folder called desktop backgrounds because that's what these are. They're desktop backgrounds, so call them what they are. And then inside the desktop backgrounds folder, I've created a set of other folders because I've gone through this process a few times. So I've done an inspirational set, an inspirational space set, and this mystical one. So you can create folders by going right click, new folder, and then giving it a name. Right, so that one didn't exist. I don't need that one, so I'm just going to delete it. So I go on right click, delete, and it's gone again. So mystical one is the folder which I saved all these into. So then to make it do its thing, as in display them on my desktop, what you need to do then is to come into your desktop, right click, and click on personalize, and then you have a choice. So I've selected here slideshow because I want it to cycle through the various images just to keep me amused. And then next you need to choose what they call the album for your slideshow, which is just the folder that you've stored them in. So in this case it's called Mystical One. So if I clicked on browse, it will take me back to this Mystical One. Now it doesn't display any files because it's just after the folder. And as I've already chosen it, it's grayed out. So I'm just going to cancel out of there. But you just pick the folder. In fact, I could probably just show you how easy it is to swap. So I'm just going to go back to my inspirational space one. And now let's change the slideshow. And now I've got my inspirational space ones. If I get bored of those, I can go right click, personalize, and then pick the new one, the mystical one. Choose that folder, and we're now looking at the slideshow from the slides inside that folder that we created. So there you go, that's how you do that. I just want to say a couple of little things with ChatGPT. Now, we've created these images in this chat, so if you created the images and someone's yelled out to you to go off and do something or go down the shops and you've had to shut down, these images are still saved. You can still access them at any time. So I want to make this point because it's always a question people have, is like, where are my images? What happens? It's not something that you have to sit here and tell one to go away until you've done this. You can come back and finish it later. So I've just... Alright, so before I was just in the... I'll call this the image previewer. So this is the section of ChatGPT that actually lets you go in and look at your images that you've created. And you can just scroll through them even. So look, you can do all sorts of things. So it's a really, really neat system. And remember, this is free. Alright, all you need to be is signed in. Now I'm going to get out of here, so I'm going to hit the cross here. It's going to take me back to the main chat window. So you'll see here that it does actually remember all your past conversations. And the other nice thing is it remembers everything that you've created. So the thing, or the point of interest, is more images. And here you can access all the images that you've ever created in your account. You can access these, download these, do whatever you like. Okay, so I just thought they'd be as an important note to remember. And again, if you do upload any images, which you will be doing at some stage, it will show you what images you've uploaded. And you can reuse. But that's for something a bit more detailed down the track. So there you go, that's how you can create custom desktop slideshows for your computer. You can just do a single image if you like, that's all fine too. So again, it's up to your imagination. Have a bit of fun with it, have a bit of a play. It doesn't cost you anything, like I said, just a bit of time, and you might come up with something really good. So there you have it, that's sort of it. If you've got any questions or any concerns about all this, just let me know in the comments and I'll answer them for you. Because one thing I want is to show you things that you can take action with and actually go, hey, look at this, I made this today. And that's the whole point of this. We need to get stuff done. All right. So, as always, take care, get lots done, and I will see you again soon. Cheers for now.